Hello, and welcome to the Comic Book Communicast, the official podcast of the Google Plus comic book community. This is issue number 38 for the week of June 18th, 2014. I'm Justin Beeson, and I'm joined by co-host Paul Christopher.
Hello, everybody.
It's Sarah Evans' birthday today, so she's off celebrating, and Aaron Travis is stuck in a wormhole somewhere. I think somewhere near New York. Every episode, each of us talks about the comic that was the top of our read pile for the week. Since we missed last week, we'll be going over a couple extra this week and also some from last week to kind of play catch up. And then in the second half, we'll go over some of the big news from the last couple weeks. Looks like there's a little bit of a lag, so bear with us. Let's get right into it. Paul, what was your first comic for this week?
All right, so this week was Aphrodite IX, number 11. When I read the solicit for this, that it was the end of the final issue, I lost my mind, and I immediately sent out a text, a tweet to Matt Hawkins and Stefan Sejic. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Anyway, I said, please tell me this isn't so, but he quickly replied back that the story is going to continue with a crossover with Cyberforce, and then a new series, so I guess it would be like volume 3. So, not to panic, not to fear.
Now, are you reading the regular Cyberforce?
I am. The regular Cyberforce is inferior in all ways to the Aphrodite IX series. The regular Cyberforce is decent, but it comes out whenever they feel like it.
Oh.
So that's been kind of annoying. It's like I keep forgetting that I'm even collecting it until when a new one pops up. Oh yeah. So it's decent. I mean, it's good to read them together since it's past and future are the same timeline. But so this was the finale, and it was a big finale. It's really basically it's like a cliffhanger to get you psyched up for it's a huge paradigm shift. So Aphrodite finally starts getting some answers about her past and her broken memories and whatnot. And there's finally the reckoning between the Jinn, who are the genetically kind of mutated faction, and the cyborg faction, and with a very definitive winner on this. It was really interesting the way they did that, and at the same time, we finally learned ultimately what the idea was behind the Aphrodite protocol. So a lot of the questions that have been lingering throughout the series are wrapped up, and I mean, as always, the art is really amazing. Stefan does a really great job with expressions. He does a great job just in general, even now that he's toned down the art and made it more comic booky from the way he was doing it at the very beginning of the series, where it was practically photoreal. It's still heads and shoulders above most of what's out there. He's his art style is very unique. As soon as you see it, you can recognize instantly, oh, that's him. So I'm looking forward to the continuation of the series and all. But now that it's only 11 issues, so I guess I don't have any excuses. Once they collect this whole thing, you need to go out there and get it. And if you like Aphrodite, then you'll like Lazarus, and if you like Lazarus, then you'll like Aphrodite. So.
And I mean, you don't have to read Cyberforce or anything to kind of pick up on it. And
no, not at all. Absolutely not. I mean, the Cyberforce takes place in the same timeline and all, but yeah, it's you don't have to read Cyberforce to understand what's going on with Aphrodite IX at all.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll probably I'll wait and see if it shows up on like a Comixology sale in the next couple months, but I'll definitely be picking that up because I mean you constantly talk about it, so gotta at least give it a
Yeah.
try.
Yeah, the story is badass. The art is badass. It's a really well crafted book.
Now, does the artist does he do all of the art or does he have somebody else coloring
Oh
for
no
him?
no no! He does all. Oh, does he?
Okay.
Does he have somebody coloring for him? That is a good question. Let
Yeah,
me
because
look.
that might be the difference between that you were talking about between the like real photorealistic and the.
Oh no no no! That was actually no. That was like in the. They explained that in the letters page. Like people were saying like it didn't look comic booky enough or whatever.
Oh,
So like literally people were complaining, like your art is too good. Could you bring it down a notch? It's hurting my eyes or something. I don't understand them. I liked it the way it was. But no, he does all of the art himself,
okay,
including the inks, according to inside here.
cool. So, my comic this week is a new debut from Image Comics called The Wicked and the Divine. This is from Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey. They are the team that just wrapped up their like critically acclaimed Young Avengers run, and they've done a couple other things before, like Phonogram, which I haven't read, but this was really good. Um, Basically, the premise is that it's about a group of gods, and what they do is every century or so, they come down to Earth and for about 2 years, and then kind of let everybody worship them and stuff, and then they go away. So the current incarnation, they came down as basically like pop stars, so they're singers and stuff. Um, and this book is just beautiful. McKelvey's art it's very just like smooth and very clean. Like there's no scratchiness to it at all. It's a pretty looking book. Um, so in this debut issue, you kind of introduced to a couple of the gods, and they're in the middle like of an interview of because there's still some skeptics apparently that don't believe they're gods because they kind of inhabit seems like 17-year-old humans, and so they're like, oh, we don't believe it. And then there's an assassination attempt, and so the Lucifer, who's a woman in this, she just blows all the assassins up, and then it's this bit, they're like, oh, you know, maybe we downplayed the miracles because we didn't want to blow your mind. So, anyways, it's kind of just jumps you right into it, and it's really, really good. And this is an ongoing. Um, it seems like something that would be more fitted to a limited series, but if you read the back matter, Kieran Gillen says that they have years planned for it, so that's good. And yeah, and I was kind of bummed that Sarah's not on because I was gonna see if she was reading it since she liked Young Avengers so much. But yeah, so that was Wicked and Divine. Definitely recommend picking that up. And I mean, over like on all the blogs and stuff, it's been getting a lot of buzz. So
I may have to check it out. I
yeah,
may have to go ahead and break down and check it out.
I would definitely recommend, especially if you're like me, because I love anything that's mythology tinged, and that's what
Yep.
this is.
Yep.
You have I don't recognize some of the gods' names because there's like stuff from like Egyptian mythology and stuff too. They're like existing deities that it seems like that these people that are the characters.
Right.
But yeah, definitely recommended.
Cool.
So what else from this week did you read, Paul?
All right. So this week I got Alex and Ada #7. This it's a very sweet issue, except for this one. Excuse me. Finally, kind of introduces the tension, the danger aspect. But yeah, it continues to be a very sweet story, very quiet story. It's an interpersonal story. So if you want like lots of action and stuff like that, don't go anywhere near this. Don't waste your money. I got Batman and Robin #32. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I've been
Oh,
incredibly busy today, so.
I'm curious to know how that is. I was thinking about jumping back in because I'm kind of curious about the whole Ra's al Ghul story, but I just
Hmm.
Tomasi's burned me so many times lately that I'm gonna wait. So yeah, definitely let me know how that is.
I will definitely. I will let you all know. Drumheller #6. Also haven't had a chance to read. And also wish that Sarah was on because I got Red Hood and the Outlaws, the
Oh
infamous
God,
Venice cover. I mean, like, this could actually be like overall is like a really cool looking cover if he just hadn't grossly disfigured Starfire.
is it
But
worse than? I mean, we'll get to this in a little bit, but is it worse than the Batman Eternal cover? Just,
yeah, no, well, in its own
I mean,
way, in its own way,
like I'm looking at this thing. Like
yeah.
Batgirl is like her neck's broken,
Yeah,
right?
like her neck is broken, her back is broken. I was looking at that. I was trying to figure out like where all their parts are. I was like,
Yeah,
what is literally like what is happening in this picture?
I
Where is
don't,
this woman's arm? I don't. Yeah,
no idea.
yeah. And then I got Sex Criminals #6. Yes, haven't got to read that yet either. So
I still have
um,
to catch
um,
up on that.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Supergirl #32. I keep coming back to this, hoping that she's not going to be a Red Lantern anymore, and I keep getting disappointed. But then now, once again, DC's got its timelines all jacked up because here in her own book, she's still running around as a Red Lantern, and then in the new Justice League United or whatever, she's running around without it. So it's like, did this happen before? Did this happen
And
after? Did this happen in
and
some
in the
pocket universe called Canada?
yeah, and then also in the Superman Doomed crossover, she's still Red Lantern.
Yeah, so which I have to read. If she's in that, I have to go read it. But she's Red
Yeah, she
Lantern.
just she you might have to. She just came in, and I mean like I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I thought it was just going to be like 5 or 6 issues, but this is going all the way through I think September, and there's actually a Supergirl issue that's an official crossover with it too. I think the August or September issue.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually been pretty good.
I'll go pick up any. I'll pick up any issue that she's in.
Start with
Just because I really like the interaction.
the last Superman Wonder Woman, the one that just came out, either last week or the week
Okay.
before. That's when she comes in, along with the Red Lanterns.
Well, we'll pretend like they don't exist. Um, I got I got this new book that I just came across called The Telecus Protocol. It's a sci-fi book. It's very indie. I picked up it's from Peter Cooper, Adam Byrne, and Justin Korthoff. I don't even know what company put it out, but it's
Maybe
a sci-fi book. It looks really pretty, and yeah, so I picked up the 99-cent preview issue. So I'm gonna check that out. If the writing and all that is good as the art and everything, then I will go ahead and pick up It's only got 2 issues so far. I'll pick those 2 up, and I'll let you guys know. I'm always excited to find new books. Got Batman Eternal #11. We're gonna have to talk about the art in that one because it's like no,
well, let's
no,
talk about it now. Yeah,
yeah,
okay. I admire what
no,
DC tried to do because
yep,
very rarely do we get a non like house style art. But yeah, this. I mean, I'm not familiar with this guy, but it's Ian Bertram. A lot of people online are saying it reminds them of Frank Quietly, but not even that. Like I get it because it's very scratchy and loose, and
yep,
it seems like he's used to drawing in black and white because there's all kinds of like fill lines
yep.
where it's just like streaks across where maybe that's supposed to be shading, but it's not, and it just looks bad.
Yeah, I don't think the art. I wouldn't classify the art as bad, in my opinion, but
Not
not
fitting.
appropriate. Yeah, exactly. It's not appropriate for this book at all. No.
And actually, it got me thinking. Like for this weekly comic, it seems like a better way to do it would have been to maybe like divide the artist by location instead of issue. Because like I think his
Mm.
art actually works well when they're over in I forget what country they're in. where whatever country they're in to track down or whatever country Batgirl's in to track down the
She's in Brazil.
Brazil. Like I think it worked there, like with kind of to establish like a different space and a little bit different mood while they're over there too. But it definitely did not work in the Gotham scenes and the stuff with Catwoman and stuff. But I think it could have been way better if they had planned this out from the beginning. You know, kind of like TV shows do with second unit directors and stuff. Have artists for the location, and then, you know, you still have consistency, and, you know, each person gets their edge of the universe.
Yeah. Or at least, like, pick artists that have, they don't have to necessarily be the house style, but they should fit the Batman style. Like, it
Right.
should be, especially with the book name like Batman Eternal, it should be more dark, it should be darker, more brooding, more gothic feeling, you know? And this looks like, you know, a comic strip, a Sunday comic strip.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody realized that there was going to be issues like this because it's just kind of it's a weekly series. You know, you're not going to get your A-list artists for every issue.
Right, and that's fine but there's like, I'm sure there's like up and coming artists that would do a really awesome, appropriate job. And again, this isn't to knock this guy. It's just I don't like him for the book, is all. So.
Agreed.
Right. And then I got, this is a big week for me. I got, last but not least, I got Fatale number 23. Really looking forward to getting this one. Since I think this is only one more issue left before the end of this.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very upset. But yeah. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so my other books, I pulled a bunch. I already talked about Batman Eternal. Original Sin number 4, just like last week, everybody's talking about some crazy twist in this one. Or not last week, last issue. Last issue, I doubt you're going to read this, so I'm going to spoil it. So if anybody doesn't want to be spoiled for last issue, just skip over this. But the Winter Soldier kind of like snaps and goes and beheads old Nick Fury.
Oh, like white Nick Fury.
And then, what?
White Nick Fury.
Yeah, old man Nick Fury just brutally murders him. So that was like the last couple pages, and apparently there's something else crazy happens this time. Wonder Woman number 32. It's getting closer to the end. I kind of feel like how you feel about Fatale. I'm just dreading it. Silver Surfer. This has been awesome. I'd recommend anybody, even if you have no like familiarity with the character, because I didn't either. It's basically Doctor Who in space, which, I mean, that's Doctor Who too, but Doctor Who in the Marvel Universe. Like, they're kind of treating it as like the same kind of like grand adventure with alien races and all kinds of fun stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. Couple Ninja Turtles comes out, and then new Thor God of Thunder issue, and this cover is insane. Like, I was, looking at the comic racks, and it just popped right out. This is probably the best cover of the series I've seen. So I'm real excited. I mean, obviously it's not going to look all like that inside, but always excited to read Thor. But yeah, I think, because I only had a chance to get to Batman Eternal and then Wicked and Divine this week. Oh, and also have a new Adventure Time, which, yes. Always excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah, usually I have all my comics read by the time we do the show, but not today, boy. Not today.
Yeah, like I was saying before the show, I finally had a chance to catch up on my comics, and I'm almost there. And then it's time to dive into some back issues again, or, like maybe read a regular book.
Yeah, I wish I had time to read a back issue. Regular books, talk to me after the show. I've got 2 series recommendations for you that I think you'll like.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
All right, so since we missed last week, we'll go over our picks from that briefly, or whatever, not briefly. So,
yes,
Paul,
there's only 2 of us.
Yeah. So you read Detective Comics?
Yes, number 32. Again with the art, but this is what I actually liked overall. It was decent. Like, it's like I like a darker, moodier Batman, like more atmospheric. This is a bit more arty. It's uh, let's see, who did the art for this one?
Francis Manapul, I think.
Yeah, see,
Something.
that's the problem.
It's
Like
the
you
same
read
team,
the cover,
so
yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Francis
both of them.
Manapul.
Yeah, both of them
Yeah,
write, and then Manapul does the pencils, and I think Buccellato does the inks or something like
yeah,
that. It's the same thing that they
yeah,
did with Flash.
yeah.
They're kind of
It's really pretty. You know, it's really sharp. I'm not 100% in love with the way that they draw like Batman, but just overall, it's really not bad. You know, I'm not upset with it. It doesn't throw me out of the story. The story itself has been pretty interesting. I'm liking these kind of longer form stories they're doing. This one has not overstayed its welcome, like other arcs have. Looking at you, Batman and Robin, the search for Robin. Looking at you, yeah. Looking at you, Red Daughter of Krypton, yeah. Looking at you, Zero Year. But
no way.
anyway,
I'm loving every bit of Zero Year.
um, but yeah, so no, it was a good book. It was a good issue. It's continuing this Icarus storyline, and Batman fights a giant squid.
Sweet.
So there's that. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I just the problem with all Batman art is that when you have Greg Capullo on the main title, it's just nothing is even going to come close to that. Like the art team on the main book is firing on all cylinders. It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the unknown person, the new up and comer, the new awesome surprise. I want to open a Batman book and be like, whoa, here's somebody to look out for.
yeah. The problem is that all the new people that are awesome are going over to Marvel because they pay better.
Or they're going over to Image because they
Yeah.
have more control.
Yeah, because
Like,
Marvel has a lot of new guys that are really good.
yep,
So DC, get in line.
yep.
So my book last week, which also bummer, I wanted to talk to Sarah about this too. It was so it's Original Sins plural
Mhm.
#1. So it's kind of like the tie-in to the main event, and basically the whole premise of Original Sin is that the Watcher died, and basically they're saying that like everything, the Watcher was like a big DVR, and the hard drive was his eye, not his brain. So what happened in Original Sin number 3 or 2, whatever, is the eye exploded, so everybody knows a whole bunch of secrets that they weren't supposed to know. So Original Sins, it seemed like, is going to travel around the Marvel universe, exploring some of that with the lesser characters. But there's also going to be the main story in Original Sins follows the Young Avengers, um, and this is a new team of Ryan North, yes, who does Adventure Time comic, does Dinosaur comics, and I've been waiting for him to do like some superhero stuff, and it's really good. He has, I mean, I'm not real familiar with the characters, but like the banter between them is all, it seems really fitting, and it's perfect. He kind of like, it's not as Ryan Northy, if that makes sense. Like he gets real wordy and real eclectic with his stuff in some of his other comics, but he kind of tones it down a little bit for this, and it's really cool. Um, and then the art is a little cartoony, which fits with the characters. Basically, this one they're following. I think it's Novar, which I think he goes by Marvel Boy or something like that, Hulkling and Prodigy, and they saw something on the news with one of their ex-girlfriends, and so they go down to explore and then get caught in a trap. But I mean, the plot is kind of second to the interactions between them, and it's really good. There is 2 other mini stories in this, and I'm guessing that those will be the ones that kind of bounce around the universe. The first one is a Deathlock, just kind of it's kind of like a 0 issue for the new series that's going to be starting up. It's the same type of character as like what you see in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's not the same character. This one's kind of the same thing. They implanted this guy with, the Deathlock technology, and then he's activated by some, what do you call it? Activation word or whatever it is, and then he goes on missions and then doesn't remember any of it. So how they tie it into the original sin is there's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. who suddenly knows about Project Deathlock and goes up to him and is like, oh, I'm a fan of your work, whatever. And then the powers that be activate his secret word, and then he takes out the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. And this is going to launch into another series. It seems, I don't know if I'll be following it, but for the concept and stuff, it seemed pretty cool. And then the last thing was a little short, I think it was only like 2 pages, about Lockjaw, who is the Inhumans. It's like the big teleporting dog that's you can see with him. And basically, his original sin. So you just see him. It's wordless, and it's just him teleporting and kind of bouncing around with different Marvel heroes, and they're just kind of like shooing away, going away. Finally, he finds Tony Stark, who then helps him, and then goes through they're searching for something. Finally, they end up on the moon, and then you realize that the secret that Lockjaw remembered is where he buried a bone. So he goes and finds his bone on the moon. So okay. It was pretty cool. Just a nice, funny little comic. So yeah, that was Original Sins. I'm definitely going to be following this for the Young Avengers story, and I hope that this turns into a series relaunch with Ryan North on it, because that would be awesome. The other thing I forgot to mention actually this was from last week too. So one of the book from last week I wanted to mention is a digital only called Nova Phase. They came out with issue number 3. And I think I talked about it when they first came out a few months ago. But it's kind of like a space story. Kind of reminds me of Titan AE. But all the art is pixel art. So it's just kind of got a unique look to it. And it's just a fun sci-fi adventure story. But yeah, definitely recommend it. It's only 99 cents each, I believe. That first issue might even be free. So it's definitely worth a look. Were there any books from last week that jumped out at you besides the detective?
Let's see. Well, there was. Let's see. No, because that's right. Because last week was really, really thin for me. I picked up Justice League United number 2. Because hoping for more Supergirl, and she's barely in it. She shows up at the end. She had a few lines in this one, as opposed to the last one where she had no lines. But yeah, I do not foresee myself continuing to pick up this book.
Oh, you know what else came out last week? Is United States of Murder Inc. number 2. You should pick up number 1.
Yeah.
I think I talked about it. You might. I don't know if you were on or not. It's Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Omi, the guys who do Powers. And basically, it's this world where instead of kind of dying out, the mob got more powerful.
Oh no, yeah, I remember you did talk about this. Yeah.
And you like crime stories, right?
Yeah.
You should definitely give the first issue a try. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
There's a lot of good world building there, and the character. It's only 2 issues, and you feel like you know the characters already. It's great. Anyway, so continue. Any other books from last week?
No, that was it, man. Literally, there was only 3 books last week. Yeah.
Well, that makes it easy. So let's jump into news. Basically, the big thing that we didn't get to talk about last week is they finally nailed down the Ant-Man details. So the director is a guy named Peyton Reed, who the only significant credits I found was he directed Bring It On and The Breakup.
Wow.
So, to be fair, Marvel's done, previous things, they've done, it's just, those aren't the best,
Yeah, they've done some, out-of-the-box directing choices, which have worked out really well, but, And if he had been the original one, I would just think, okay, they're doing like more their out of the box stuff. We'll see what happens. But no, this is like the third choice. But they're like scraping the bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
here, so they don't have that
The
excuse.
the other thing is, and then Adam McKay is going to do a script rewrite. It looks like, or revisions, or touch up, or whatever. Um, and at this point, it seems like seems like the directing job is going to probably be the least influential part of the whole movie, because I mean you already have Edgar Wright with his hands in it. You have Adam McKay doing like the script, and the actors they have for this, Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd. Those are guys that just know what they're doing. I would
Mm.
think so. It's a bummer that because whatever comes out is not going to be full Peyton Reed, movie. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, Marvel hasn't really completely let me down yet.
No, they haven't really blown it since. Well, they haven't blown it since they started doing their own thing.
Right.
I mean, there's movies I like better than others, but there's never been a bad one so far.
It just seems this is the first one that they're going that it seems like they're going full on comedy with.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm curious. We'll find out. Uh, the other bit, we got our Wilson Fisk for slash the Kingpin for the Daredevil series, which is Vincent D'Onofrio,
Oh,
who
really? That's a
yeah.
good idea.
So he's on one of those procedural shows.
Law and Order, whatever, one of them.
Yeah, and
Special Victims Unit? No.
no, it was one of the
Criminal
other ones.
Intent.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
And I think it's great because he's kind of got that like he's very calm, but then he just has that like he's holding back like some sort of explosion every time, like at least in the stuff that I've seen him in. So I think that was a good casting.
Yeah, and he's a really good actor. So, I like the fact that they're looking for high quality actors for this stuff.
I cannot wait for these series to come out. I'm probably more excited about those than I am about the regular Marvel movies coming up.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Marvel handles its own Daredevil. This will be the first.
Right.
This will no. This will be the second Marvel property that's come back to them that we've had the opportunity to see their take as opposed to the original take. Like the first one
What was
was
the first?
Hulk, the
Oh,
Hulk.
the Hulk.
It was on Lee's Hulk, and then
Oh,
finally
okay.
Marvel put out theirs. So we can
Well,
see
but
how Marvel would do it.
was on Ang Lee's Hulk not through Marvel?
It wasn't through like the Marvel Studios, the official like Marvel Universe people. It was through like the Marvel Entertainment, which does like the Fox and the Sony movies.
Hmm. Okay. Next bit of more casting news. So we have our Aquaman for Batman v Superman, and it's going to be Jason Momoa, who is Khal
Yep.
Drogo on Game of Thrones. He was Conan too, right?
Yeah, he was.
I didn't see the new one.
That one got panned, but I really liked it actually.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought it was a good
How,
Conan. Yeah.
like how is he? I mean, in Game of Thrones, he doesn't have all that much to do. He's in it
Yeah.
for a few episodes and then he dies.
Yep. Oh, now you spoiled it. Great. We're gonna get
Sorry.
letters.
That's
We can get angry letters.
that's the least of the Game of Thrones spoilers that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I don't like when I think Aquaman, I do not see him at all.
Yeah. No, that's definitely. I mean, he does. Yeah. Apparently, Aquaman is not gonna have blonde hair and blue eyes in the movie.
Now
I
I
mean,
could see him as Namor, not Aquaman.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But I mean, he's got the physique for it, and I like that they, maybe they're taking the opportunity to, switch up some of the ethnicities and stuff like that. Which is cool. And Aquaman's probably the least likely to cause any sort of weird backlash.
I was
So
more thinking of like, I mean, I guess I haven't really followed Aquaman recently, but like it seems like they're gonna play him up as like a super tough guy, uh, which, well, obviously they're trying to revamp Aquaman a little bit. But when I think Aquaman, I think a little bit more lighthearted and kind of more
Yeah.
friendly.
In his current state, he's very kind of torn between two worlds. You know, he's very good natured overall, but like you can tell that he's like constantly frustrated because there's constantly shit coming up. You know, people just will not leave him alone. So you know, he's trying to be good, trying to be chill, trying just to be happy, but stuff just keeps coming up. So
All right, well, that's an already overstuffed movie, and we're getting a little bit more stuffing.
yeah, it's when are these people going to learn?
Well, the problem is that we don't know like how big of a part any of these people play. So you know, he could have a little 2 minute little stop by, and then you know he's off and waiting until his own movie or the next movie.
Yeah. And now
But
they're saying that this is not actually the sequel to Man of Steel.
right, so our next little bit of news is that there's a supposed DC film schedule, which I saw the other day that who the unofficial mouthpiece for DC, Kevin Smith, corroborated this list
Yeah.
on one of his podcasts or whatever. So we got Batman v Superman, then a Shazam movie, Sandman, which we knew about, Justice League, Wonder Woman, Flash and Green Lantern team-up movie, and Man of Steel 2. The two that stand out at me are one, Shazam. Like, who really? They're gonna do a Shazam movie?
Yeah, that will be interesting.
I'm
Considering
just
we've
kind of
already got Superman, I think the general movie-going public will get very confused.
right. It's already confusing enough. You know, it's already hard enough to differentiate them in comics, and then to try and differentiate them to a general non-comic reading audience.
Yep.
Granted, like the way that they've treated him in the New 52, I've actually liked. I liked his origin in Justice League and stuff. And so I think if they kept him separate, it might be okay. But that doesn't seem like something that they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
The other one that really stands out to me is the Flash and Green Lantern team up.
Yeah.
Mostly because that I don't understand what they're trying to do with it, because they're going, you know, grimdark on all this stuff, and the Flash and Green Lantern team up in comics and everything's always been lighthearted and these lighthearted characters, and they're not doing that at all in the DC movieverse, you know. So how does that even work?
And are they going to have the Flash from the TV series, or
Right.
is this going to be completely unrelated Flash?
I don't think they're going to tie in the TV series. Logistic wise, it's probably just too much of a hassle at this point.
If they're smart, they will, because the TV series, like at least Arrow anyway, is the one thing that they've actually done right outside of Batman and to a lesser extent Superman. So any opportunity that they have to pull in something that's already an ace, they should take, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it if Stephen Amell shows up in one of these movies as Green Arrow, and we get. Well, we'll see how the Flash TV shows, but I'm sure it'll be, if it's the same people that do an Arrow, I'm sure it'll be good, and hopefully they take it a little bit more lighthearted, because Flash is not a serious character ever.
Right.
So yeah. The last bit of news, this just came out, I think it was either today or yesterday. So they did the like the Django Unchained limited run series that was based off of the original script. I didn't read it. I think people liked it, but they just announced that Dynamite's going to be putting out a Django Unchained and Zorro crossover, with Quentin Tarantino co-plotting with the writer.
Yeah, color me intrigued.
Yeah, I think this has a potential to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because the characters pretty much fit right in with each other, and oh man, It's a bummer that something like this couldn't be in like a Netflix series or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this definitely has like fantasy I want to see this on the screen, but comic book might be cool too. So I will definitely be looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll wait and see what your report is before I jump in there. It'll also depend a lot on the artist too, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Dynamite's kind of. I think they did announce an artist. No. I don't know. But yeah, Dynamite's always hit or miss with the art.
Yeah,
But like, if even if it's not great art for me personally, as long as the writing's good, I'm fine.
yeah, I have a hard time if the art is crappy, but we'll see.
So yeah, I think that's about all I have. Was there anything else from the last couple weeks that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I just saw today that a company is looking to make a movie out of The Malignant Man. It's a Boom Studios comic from James Wan, who has directed, currently directing the latest Fast and the Furious movie, and he's
Oh,
worked on
okay.
other movies. And it's his graphic novel actually, and he is looking to develop and direct it himself. So it's about this guy who's told that he's got like this cancer, it's terminal, and just as he's coming to grips with this, he discovers it's not actually cancer; it's like this alien parasite that gives him like superpowers. So it sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, probably sounds interesting.
You know what else I completely forgot to mention? I have no clue how. Rat Queens is
Oh
going to
yeah,
turn
again,
into.
we miss you, Sarah. You should be here.
I was so excited, but I don't know how it just didn't make it into my notes.
Yeah.
So I mean, at this point, all we know is that it's going to be an animated series, and it's going to be put out by Heavy Metal, which I don't know if that's the same Heavy Metal as Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal.
I believe
Um,
so. I think that was the whole point.
yeah, Heavy Metal and Weta,
Yep.
who I think that's like the special effects house that does stuff for like the Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
films.
it is. Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
So hopefully this means that I'm kind of curious to see how this works out because, you know, it's very hard to get an adult uh, cartoon, have it be successful,
I
and
don't know.
even harder
Simpsons,
if it's
Family Guy.
well. That's what I'm saying. Even harder if it's not just a straight like sitcom
Right.
style show. I mean, obviously there's a lot of comedy in Rat Queens, um, but yeah, I'm trying to think of another cartoon that was, like a adventure or like, just
Yeah.
because this is going to be adult. It has to. There's no way it's not. So I'm very curious. Or if they end up just doing, like, I guess they say series, so
Yep.
I could see that.
The last one that would fit your description would be the Batman animated series.
Yeah, but that was still a kids show. Like
Well, when it was originally marketed, like it was out in the evening, like around the same time as like Family Guy
right,
and all that. So
but it was family friendly, and they could sell
yeah,
toys to kids, and kids
yeah,
could watch it. Kids are not going to be able to watch this at
yeah.
all. Like this is a
Well,
strict, yeah,
yeah, we'll
but
see because yeah, the
you see
original
Heavy
Teenage
Metal's
Mutant
name on
Ninja
it,
Turtles. You saw what they did with that.
right? But you see Heavy Metal
Yeah.
on the name, and pretty confident this is going to be uh, towards adults. But
Oh,
here's the.
and,
So, it says
Spawn,
they're going to pitch it to a network, so they're not going to do because I could see it showing up on like Netflix or Amazon or something like that.
which wouldn't be a bad way to go.
Right.
Like Netflix, it's not like they wouldn't get a lot of views. But yeah, Spawn the animated series is the last one.
And that did not do well.
Yeah, that was on HBO, if I recall
Right.
correctly. Yeah,
That was also before. I mean, now I could see that succeeding because, like, HBO has
yeah,
always been big, but not as big as it is now.
yeah. And plus, comic book properties are huge now. People are becoming
Right.
more familiar with them. So
Yeah, Yeah, I can't wait.
Yep. You see the new Gotham trailer? Focuses on the
No,
bad guys.
I
Really
honestly
good.
like. I haven't watched any promo stuff for it. I think I just want to go into the series like fresh.
All right. Well, the reviews, the early reviews from like critics who've like been able to like watch like the first like the pilot and all that have been very positive.
All right,
And then
it's good to hear.
I saw a new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer with lots of Rocket Raccoon talking.
Yeah, I do want to go watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I just every time I see a new trailer, I'm just more excited about this movie. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. You know what I did? The trailer I did see the other night. I went and saw Edge of Tomorrow, which was great, by the way. Besides the
Oh, I
ending,
gotta go see that. I still haven't seen that yet.
the whole movie's good, but they kind of the ending's fine, but they kind of like pull some punches.
Yeah, I hate it when they do that.
Well, it's a Tom Cruise movie. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that there's something in his contract saying that nothing bad can ever happen to him at the end of a movie. Like everything has to resolve. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get, but not any of like the big Tom Cruise vehicles.
right. Yeah,
Like Jamie Foxx was the main like character. He was a big part of it. But yeah, anyways, what was I going? Oh, and I saw Sin City trailer.
Oh yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that movie. I hope. I mean, Frank Miller's gone on to kind of direct other things after that have not been so successful.
Yeah,
So, but I always have faith in Robert Rodriguez. I'm sure it'll be great.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about it.
Yep, that covers everything.
All right. All right. Hopefully, Aaron and Sarah will be back next week, and we'll have a full a full episode.
Yeah, I think
So the
Aaron's out
Communicast
seeking vengeance.
for what?
I don't know. He's just on a quest for vengeance.
Sweet. Sounds promising.
Yeah.
The Communicast home on the web is #Communicast on Google+, youtube.com/comicbookcommunicast, and cbcpodcast.tumblr.com. Find all our episodes. We appreciate any shares. Leave us comments. Write us messages. We respond. We promise. And yeah, thank you for joining us, and have a good night.
Press the like button and the subscribe button.
Oh yeah,
and have a great night. Yep.
Yay.
Happy birthday to Sarah.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Sarah.
All right. Good night, everybody.